When I was traveling, I was like, you create your life. You are making choices for your life to create your own life. Don't just let your life happen to you. It's finally come into my motherhood where I'm like, okay, I need to create my life. I need to create my experience and not just like let it happen to me. Hey guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, we talk about pregnancy, we talk about motherhood, we talk about life. We do things kind of hippie, kind of natural, kind of granola. If you're into that, please subscribe. If you're not new here, welcome back. I have an Instagram, Hey Shayla. I have a podcast, Hey Shayla. So today is a motherhood pep talk, parenthood pep talk. I go through these journaling phases. I actually just bought this journal. It's holding up my notes. Look at how massive this thing is. And I chose yellow because it brings me joy, but it's huge. Because I was like journaling with these little guys. And I felt like I was just, so I got this big old thing. I haven't started journaling with it yet. I actually ordered a brown one and a yellow one to see if I could commit to such a joyful color, and I did. When I get in these kicks of like wanting to be off my phone, because I do it, I'm like, girl, I don't want to be on my phone anymore, and then I just like keep it out of the bedroom. I do all these like things, and then it slowly creeps its way back in. It's what an addiction is, right? Still working on my guide. It's like I have to manage all the things that I do day to day, and then I have to like work on my guide. And also I'm doing a thought prompt book, so it's gonna be like a flip book, so much smaller than this, but basically that sits on like in the nursery. And then it'll be like, what is something in your house that you're grateful for? And then you'll read that, go nurse your little baby to sleep. And as you're sitting there, instead of scrolling or buying on Amazon, think about your thought prompt. And then the next day you go in, you have a new one that is also coming. Anyway, when I get into these like journaling things, I really get my brain moving. And so that's kind of what this video came from that. When I'm journaling, my therapist asked me this too. What do you want motherhood to feel like? What do you want your motherhood to feel like? So for me, my answer is like calm, joyful, happy, cooperative, organized. Wow, that is like, I'm not an organized person, but like if I want to feel good about dinner, I need to make sure that I'm thinking ahead and like, what are we gonna have for dinner? Like today, I have no freaking clue. We'll probably have the pasta leftovers that we had yesterday when I was unsure what to make. So I need to like think ahead a little bit for like what I need to buy and then what will be prepped. Calm. That's me just needing to check myself. When everyone starts to get chaotic, I need to be the calm that everybody can anchor to. And that takes a lot of work. I've found that it works really, really well if I can remain calm. Like that's how I want my motherhood to feel like. And you might want yours to feel energized and active. Cooperative, I like that word. I don't want it to feel like a battle. I want it to feel like we are in this together. Because it used to feel like a battle. And then I read How to Talk So Little Kids Listen. I mentioned this in like all my videos. Hunt Gather Parent is another one that just teaches you how to like work as a unit instead of like my kids want to play, but I've got things to do. It's like, no, we're all going to do things together. I've learned that if I don't like something about how my day is going, about how my life is, about how my children are acting, it is my job to fix it. For a while, I would be like just hostile towards other people for not being able to fix it, like my mom or my sister or just like other people who I felt like weren't helping. And then I had to check myself and be like, listen, these are my circumstances. It's my job to fix this circumstance. So I'm gonna give you a couple examples. I want to do less screen time. So I'd be like, we're gonna turn off the screen time, and I'd turn off the TV, she'd have a fit, and then she'd be like, okay, now what are we gonna do? And I was like, I don't know, what do we do? Should we go outside? Should we go on a walk? I don't know. So I bought like puzzles, and I bought magnet tiles, and I bought trains, and I bought things for them to do when they're not on the TV. And if you set those out at night, pull the bin out so that when they wake up, they walk in the living room and there's magnet tiles, they start playing with them. So like you need to set your environment up for success for the things that you want. Or like you set out the coloring things on the table so that when they wake up, they're like, oh, there's coloring things. I'm gonna do this. But if you don't, everyone falls into these things. Sometimes we'd default to the TV when she woke up in the morning. Well, then guess what? When I wanted to change that habit, she had a fit. So I need to change that. It's my job to change making the environment away from the TV. If I'm just unhappy about something, my husband does shift work. And for a long time, I was like, this is literally the worst. I'm going to activities by myself. I'm planning everything. I'm doing all of the appointments. I'm like playing with them. I don't have time to work out. And I was just like trying to get him to understand how hard it was. And he was like, okay, so what can we do about it? I can give you time. Like, what do we need to do? And I literally was like, I'm either going to choose to be miserable or I'm going to choose to enjoy it. I have to reframe my mind if I want to be happy. And I thought this was a trap. I was like, no, I'm not the one who's going to be responsible for all these things. It's going to be 50-50, and it's just not for us. It's just not. And so I can either sit here and like be like, woe is me, and this is really shitty and I don't like it. Or I can say, nope, I'm going to be in charge of these things. I might drop the ball sometimes and I might miss some things, but that is the grace I'm going to give myself because I'm doing a lot. And so I'm going to be excited that I'm the one that they find comfort in and that they go to when they're upset because they're with me all the time. I love that we have like a nighttime routine that works out well and that we can all snuggle up together and like we work well as a unit, the three of us, because we're together a lot. So like I like that we can move and go to Target and go to the doctor and we can like do things together and we kind of, I know their ebbs and flows and like I started to find the value in like all the time we were spending together and enjoying it because you choose that. And I remember reading a book that said like, you choose happiness. It must have been when like postpartum depression or something because I remember just sobbing and being like, choose happiness, just choose happiness. And I couldn't. I was like, and then I got more upset because I was like, I can't choose happiness. I just can't right now. I'm just so, and I was so emotional. I mean, that's next level. But in general, if you can choose to be happy, it's independent of everyone else. It doesn't depend on if Seth can give me time or not. If I don't get like the me time that everybody else talks about needing, that's okay because I've accepted that that's something that I don't necessarily need or I get it in different ways. I don't know. I just feel like people make you feel like you have to get these certain things or like your life sucks. And that's just not the case. Everyone's is different. Everyone's circumstances are different and everyone's happiness is different. So you just have to decide what you're happy with within your circumstances. So I had to think when I'm journaling, what activities make me feel like I've done an absolutely stellar job because I just saw a quote. I don't even know what the quote is, but the gist of it is this experience right now, I'm like, you're so focused on making their childhood wonderful. You're like, I just want their childhood to be great. It's also your motherhood, right? So these are memories of you as a mother and like their childhood. I don't know. It was very eloquently said, not like how I just said it. But basically, you have to enjoy it too. So what things do you need to do to enjoy it? Right now, my toddler is on a Barbie kick. Barbies. And I don't really have anything against Barbies. I don't know. That's like a whole different debate. I'm not talking about that. I just don't really like doing it. I don't like sitting down and being like, hey, I'm the bad guy. Oh, what? Oh, no, don't get it. And like just playing this game. We could do the same scene every time. It's just like not my jam. So I started journaling because at the end of the night I would feel terrible because literally all day she's like, Mom, will you play with me? Will you play with me? Mom, will you play with me? And I'm like, I just don't really want to go play Barbies. So I had to like process this. Like, why don't I want to play Barbies? A couple things. First thing, I realized that I'm trying to follow her scene, but she's 3. She doesn't even know how to like create a scene. So I'm trying to be like, okay, where's the climax and what's gonna happen here? And like it's not because her brain doesn't work like that. I watched her play with a friend of mine, a 30-something-year-old who was playing with her with their dog toys. And my friend was like, all right, we're having a party. You go get those toys. And she like coordinated the whole play thing. And Aaliyah was like, yeah, okay, I want to come. Oh no, I'm sad. Da, da, da. And she like played within this scene. And I was like, well, that makes so much sense. So since then, I've been like, all right, we're having a party, or like, let's go to the doctor. Let's build something, set the scene, and she gets to be a character within my scene. These are ridiculous thoughts, but this is what happens when you journal. You like come up with what works. So with the Barbie situation, I would go to bed feeling like dirt. Like I'm like, oh, I was trying to do all these things. She kept asking me to play. Mom, will you play with me? Mom, will you play with me? And I was like, no, I'm gonna do the dishes. I don't want to play Barbies. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And like at the end of the day, I'm like, I didn't even play with her. I didn't even do anything with her. Why? What do I not like about that? And then I had to think about what I didn't like about Barbies, and then think, okay, if I don't want to play Barbies, I want to be the character. Like, I am the doctor and you are my patient. Let's do this. So maybe I need to buy some like doctor outfits or make some doctor outfits or just pretend to be doctors. Or like, I like it when we play checkout. Like she goes, fills up her thing. She goes beep, 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 beep to all the things. We pretend to exchange money. I don't know, like that's more fun to me than like playing with the Barbies. So again, creating an environment where we are doing that. Maybe she has a kitchenette and pretend to be a restaurant or something. Or you have a shelf and you pretend that it's a kitchenette. Like you don't have to buy all these things. I actually have a whole Amazon list of like the toys that I bought around this specifically. So if you go to heyshayla.com/Amazon, you'll see like I bought an easel because I wanted to do more arts and crafts and painting. And the activities that make me feel like I'm doing a stellar job are like when we do puzzles or when we paint or when we play Easter egg hunt regularly. Like I'll go hide things, then she has to go find them, or I'll put like colors of paper out and she goes and finds things to put on the paper. So I need to do a little bit of planning ahead where I'm looking in Pinterest and finding activities and setting them out the night before so that they're ready to go and that like I feel good about them. But I also realized that I love the days where we're out adventuring, where we're like going and doing that, going and doing that, going and doing that. Or the past like week, we went to the farmer's market one morning and then we went to a new park to check it out. Did I love the new park? No. Will I go back? Probably not. But we checked out a new park and that was fun. Then when we got home and she had like more screen time than I normally would do, I felt fine about it because I was like, we did a great activity today. you can have screen time. Screen time, I've learned, is not bad for the sake of screen time. It's bad for the time that it's taking away from physical activity. So in my mind, we did all the physical stuff. Screen time, no problem. Takes the guilt away. Like this morning, our plans fell through. I had nothing to do, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. And I felt bad about it because I was like, what else could we be doing? I don't know. When I do the thing that I want to do, I'm like, okay, now you get a little breather because we've been so active. You can just chill, and then I can do something while you're watching TV and everybody wins. Then the next day we went to the state fair. Then the next day we went to a coffee shop and a walk around the lake. Then the next day I hosted a mommy meetup, and I was like, hey everyone in Minnesota, why don't we come to this meetup? And like I had a bunch of people come, and we just played for the morning, and then it was chill, and like it was a busy week, and it was awesome, and I loved it. But I also need to remember it's my motherhood. It is also their childhood. So if she does want to play Barbies, then you need to play Barbies with her. Yeah, go on all these adventures. Yeah, go outside, go paint, go do puzzles, go do those things. But if she continually asks to play Barbies, fuel that and know that like you create the environment, she's a character within your story, and like that's how you make it enjoyable for yourself. When I was traveling, I was like, you create your life. You are making choices for your life to create your own life. Don't just let your life happen to you. It's finally come into my motherhood where I'm like, okay, I need to create my life. I need to create my experience and not just like let it happen to me. Everyone has different circumstances. Everyone is dealing with different struggles. Financial struggles, time struggles, relationship struggles, mental health struggles, physical struggles. Like everyone has struggles, but they also have benefits to their situation. So like focusing on those benefits I think is huge, and also acknowledging what are your circumstances, what are your struggles, and then within those circumstances, how can you make the life that you want? That's all I got. I hope that I gave you some good little nuggets of information and ideas. Clearly you can tell that I'm passionate about this because I journaled about it and had like all the thoughts in the world. And so I just wanted to share them with you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.